Consumers are scared. The fact of the matter is, what just came out of the news on Wall Street today shows that we are not on solid ground. We're actually on quite shaky ground. The September consumer confidence falls the most in 3 years. Through all this time, through COVID, through buildups and busts, all kinds of craziness happening all around the world. Right now, the economy at our level, the consumer level, is showing Wall Street we don't have what it takes to keep this economy going forward. Without some massive bailout, tons of money being printed, like what happened during COVID, it's done. The economy's over. And you're going to start seeing it spill over and over and over, more and more bad news. Check this story out of the CNBC. It says consumers' view on the economy tumbled in September, falling by the largest level in more than 3 years as fears grew about jobs and business conditions, the conference board reported Tuesday. The board's consumer confidence index slid to 98.7, which is down from 105.6 in August. That's the biggest one-month decline since August of 2021. The Dow Jones consensus forecast was for a reading of 104. By contrast, the index had a reading of 132.6 in February of 2020. That is a massive drop in consumer confidence. That's a month before the COVID pandemic hit. So obviously, since then, we have been on nothing but a decline. Each of the 5 components of the organization samples fared worse on the month, with the biggest fall coming among those aged between 35 and 54 and earning less than $50,000. Now, think about that just for a second. Anybody earning $50,000 or less right now, think of what they are seeing. The cost of living has skyrocketed. Set aside rent and owning a home, right? I mean, rent has exploded up until just recently, where now it's cheaper to rent than buy a house. However, rent is still high. People that make under $50,000, they can't go out to eat. They can't sit there and even going to the grocery store is probably freaking them out because they keep seeing prices going higher and higher every month. The cost of fuel is still up there. Insurance is exploding. So you have to ask yourself, what percentage of the population in the United States makes $50,000 and under? And it is a vast majority of people. It's massive. Now it says here, the last time the confidence index dropped more came as inflation was just beginning to climb to what ultimately was the highest level in more than 40 years. That's actually when this channel took off, because 6 months before that, I said, get ready, inflation's about to start exploding, because it already had, but you're not going to see it in the government numbers for between 3 to 6 months in the future. I didn't have a crystal ball. I just know how this stuff works. And I said, and don't worry, you're going to see a lot of things that were being bet up in the stock market and the lumber market, things like that, come crashing down because most people are going to start focusing on necessities, right? Well, since then, the current administration touts that their policies have made this better. It hasn't. They just lie better, right? There's been 0 price drops in the grocery store. 0. Now it says here stocks saw some brief losses following this release of this information, while treasury yields move mostly lower. In addition to the steep drop in confidence index, the present situation measure worsened by 10.3 points to 124.3, and the expectations index was off 4.6 points to 81.7. On the expectations measure, a reading below 80 is consistent with a recession. So think about this. We are like right there where the official recession announcement is going to come out. But again, they don't want to announce that until right after the election. And it'll be perfect timing. Right after November 7th, 8th, they're going to go, you know what? We're in a recession. And then everybody's going to flip the switch off in their minds and in their pocketbooks. And it will be impressive. Now it says here, respondents' concerns focus mostly on jobs and inflation. Those saying, and remember, job losses are now increasing. Inflation, they say, is decreasing, but we all know that we're not going to be fooled. It's not. Those saying jobs are plentiful continue to decline, falling to 30.9% from 32.7 in August, while the jobs that are hard to get measure rose to 18.3, up from 16.8. On inflation, the 12-month outlook rose to 5.2%. Okay, I'm going to read that one more time. Remember these government numbers, right? On inflation, the 12-month outlook rose to 5.2%, with concerns over price increases topping the list of economic concerns. And especially people that make under $50,000 a year. Think about this. They shop at Big Lots. They shop at, I know this from experience, all right, and from watching family and friends that make that much or less. They shop at Dollar Tree, the Dollar General, things like that. And they are seeing those stores closing up. They are, I'm not kidding, are feeling this sort of impending doom feeling. Like, what is happening to my world, their world? All right. On inflation, okay, it says it says here the survey comes less than a week after the Federal Reserve voted to lower the rates. That's not helping anybody right now. Bond yields are actually increasing. Sure, the stock market's increasing. Do you think people that make under $50,000 care about what the stock market's going to do? Do you think they have a 401k? More than likely, they do not. And my heart goes out to them. Now, here's the facts. There were times that I made under $50,000 a year, and I was working 2 jobs and taking the second job and putting all my money into investments. So I know there's a way out. Okay, for anybody that sits there and says you don't get it, Ninja, you don't understand. I have been there. I have seen people with cancer working 2 jobs. I have seen all kinds of crazy things. As far as this is how crazy it gets. When you want something bad enough, you're going to go get it. And I have been in those times, those short period of times where everything came collapsing around me, regardless of what I tried to get out of it. I couldn't. But it was what I had done before and what I had done after that event is what changed the outcome. And I have to say, honestly, I don't think there's ever been a better time to work a 6th day a week. If you have a 5-day a week job, pick up a 6th day, but not at your work. Start something new. Start a new venture. Open up your mind. Start a side hustle and get ready, because there's never been a better opportunity to start a side hustle than when everything's falling apart. Trust me, I've done it before, and I'm going to do it again. I just opened up another company. Hopefully you have another business, another side hustle, not a company. It's not going to be big. It's going to make a lot of money, but it's, Anyway, I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.